Hey, welcome to day 3 of the Leads Made Easy Challenge. This is all about the benefit of engagement and relationship. Oh yeah, it's getting good now. You should be now getting clear on the stages of readiness, need, and desire of your client, as well as where it is that you are most ideally suited to serve, right? What's that number one place, that one lane you want to be able to run in first? And getting really clear on that avatar using that perfect client attraction method, right? That exercise. This may be starting to shape up for you and start to come into clarity. And I hope so, because there's very important reasons to nail this. Okay, now the beauty is you don't have to perfect this, and you shouldn't, because this will continue to refine. The more you grow in your business and in your life, a lot of these things will change because you'll have new perspectives. Okay, but it's very important to start getting clarity on this now. I invest in relationships, not things. I invest in people, not products. Well, rare exception. Okay, partnerships before profit. And a lot of what I do in all my businesses that I built, this is one of the concepts that I have always seen in place, and I've been this way my whole life. And I'm hoping that my goal is to help you start to see this way from now on. You spend a lot of time knocking on doors, both literal or figurative, to get a client. You may knock on 10 doors to get a client. You may knock on 100 doors to get a client. But either way you slice it, for the most part, you're spending all your time knocking on doors to get a client. I spend all my time knocking on doors to find access to people who have access to clients. And I promise you, we spend the same amount of time. Right? Once you get a client, you now have to knock on 10 more doors to find another client. I knock on 10 doors to find an existing flow partner. Existing flow partner is somebody who has an existing flow of your leads in their database. Somebody who's already cultivated a relationship with people that they serve as an expert, as a leader. And somebody who provides a complementary service to your avatar based on what stage of readiness, need, and desire they are in. You think? It's starting to connect some dots here. Okay, the complementary services that to your avatar. A few examples. Alarm company. Right? I used to own an alarm company, an ADT security dealership. And an existing flow partner for us, right? We've worked with a lot of home builders. They were framing houses. They were building them. And while they were in framing stage, we would come in and pre-wire the whole house for alarms, home theater, and CCTV and HVAC. And then the home builder got to offer us as a value-added service with a pre-installed alarm. So we were finding clients in that aspect. They were in stage 1. They were in the floating stage because they weren't in desperate need. But there was an incentive for them to take advantage of a move-in special, a move-in offer. Take care of this before any rapids and falls hit and avoid devastation. Okay? So in that instance, they were before me. My existing flow partner, we were in stage 1, and they were further up the line in stage 1. Now, another phase of that, we had a whole other division that all they did was they worked with wreckage and damage. We worked with insurance companies who had payouts after losses and emergency medical response units. Because after they didn't heed the warnings, and they went over the fall and then unfortunately had devastation from break-ins and robberies or challenges, we came in after the fact and helped rebuild and recover and repair. Because now they were ready to do something about it. Okay, so you just got to get clear on what stage of the process are they in and look for it. What are the stages they in? Are they before you or after you? Okay, I had to have a CPA. My formal education was in accounting, and I hated it. So I decided I want to go into my own business, and I opened up a bookkeeping service. And I thought, well, I'll find CPAs who don't have a bookkeeping team, and I'll be their bookkeeping arm. Until I ran into a bookkeeper who had he did bookkeeping, and he didn't want to. So it was the perfect solution for him to just offload all of his bookkeeping work to us. So all of a sudden, I found out that a very important realization that just because somebody's doing something doesn't mean that they want to be doing it. Right? So complementary services don't just have to be somebody who's not offering something. You could find out, and simply by asking questions, which is something we'll help you with later, what are the things that they're doing? Of course, it needs to be in the realm of what you do that they no longer wish to. So here's a simple question. Who has your client in their database? Who has an existing flow of your leads in their database? That's an existing flow partner. So here's the thing that gets people caught up most of the time. Here's some false assumptions that most people make when developing partnerships. Number one, making the mistake of assuming that you know what matters to them, because you don't. Right? This challenge that we work in, we have a lot of partners who promote it because they love what we do and they feel like we have value to their list. You may be here as a result of that. And we offer financial incentives for them to participate. And I can't tell you how many of my partners tell me no consistently. They say, no, I don't want you to pay me. I know you'll get me back. They're not looking for it. They're doing it because they appreciate the value of our relationship and what we bring to each other and to each other's clients. Don't assume you know what matters to them. Ask, find out, figure it out. And these days, you don't even need to figure it out. You don't even need to ask, because you can go to social media, you can find them and find out what matters to them and surprise them. Next, assumption. Assuming that because they're doing something that they want to be doing it, right? As I mentioned with the bookkeeping example. Another one is fitness trainers. Like, I know a lot of fitness trainers who just love the fitness aspect. They want to go on runs and hikes and triathlons and do the physical work. They don't necessarily enjoy teaching their clients about nutrition, especially because a lot of clients don't want to deal with nutrition. It's a hard thing. If you're a nutritionist and you partner with a fitness trainer who doesn't want to deal with that, now you have the perfect peanut butter and jelly relationship. Don't assume that because they're doing it that they want to be. Next assumption. Assuming that because their business may be bigger than yours, that they won't work with you. Total false assumption. Right? Most people who build big businesses are there because they understand that somebody helped them. Right? I understand the power that the business, we have a 7-figure business because people helped us when we weren't there, and people still help us. The other assumption on the flip side of that is assuming that because your business is bigger, that they should be bigger. Right? That isn't so. I have a lot of people who help us, and we help a lot of people, and we're always focused in that. But it's about having intentional relationships around this, and we're going to unpack that. So what should those relationships look like? Well, here's a format that I normally work in. I'm always focusing on pacers, chasers, and racers. And I think that everybody should have pacers, chasers, and racers in your personal life and your professional life. Pacers are simply those who set the pace for you. They're moving faster than you, they're playing bigger than you, or they're just further down the road than you. Chasers are people who are chasing you. People who, again, they're just further behind you, or they started later, or they're just a smaller business. Either way, you are in a great position for them to chase you if you're intentional about making sure that that's what's going on. And racers are running mates. Those are people who are running with you. Colleagues, peers, people who are playing a similar game to you. You need running mates. You don't want to be a solo lone wolf in this game. You always want people that you can compare with, that you can encourage with, that you should be hitting milestones that are similar. Right? There's a lot of value in that, a ton. Right? So I'm going to recap here. We talked about existing flow partners. Existing flow partners are vital. Understand who already did the work. Remember, you don't want to spend all of your time going to find water source, digging a hole, drilling a well, building a well, siphoning water, and making it go when somebody else has already done that. And now you can just add a value-add relationship and tap into that existing flow. Complementary services. Be sure it's complementary services. This is how it works the best. Understand, based on the need, based on the stage that they're in, where they fit in the flow, and then who's the person has that database, who has the person has the list in their database based on a complementary service. Don't make false assumptions. You don't know. You have no idea how many people will help you. And you don't need a world of them to help you. You just need a few. And get crystal clear on pacers, chasers, and racers. Make sure that you've got them in your life in all areas, personal life and professional life. It'll change your life if you let it. Which leads me to today's challenge assignment. I want you to identify 10 pacers, 10 chasers, 10 racers. So identify some complementary services to what you do. And see who are people, and I want you to think of specific people that you actually know, or it can be specific people, real people that you may not know yet, that you may need some introduction on. And don't get the cart before the horse. We have more work to do. I want you to identify them. The challenge today is purely to identify them. But think of 10. 10 in each category. 10 pacers, 10 chasers, 10 racers. Pacers can be mentors, can be experts. Chasers can be clients or people who are newer in business than you. Racers can be peers, colleagues, even people in other industries. Right? I have chasers that are that run car dealerships. I have chasers that run insurance industry, insurance firms. Right? People who run sales organizations that are completely different than mine. But we are all building teams and growing teams, and we have things in common that we help focus with, and we have other ways to complement and support each other with referrals. Pacers, chasers, and racers. Identify 10 in each category. And we'll see you in the CUS7 Facebook group.